I have had this sweat tent for the past like 6+ months. I've been using the sweat tent for the past about 6 months, 3 to 5 times a week. So I've definitely gotten to know this thing a little bit. So I wanted to give you some of the positives, some of the negatives, and ultimately if I still think this thing is worth it. To start off with, the outside of this has been pretty solid besides last winter when it kind of collapsed a little bit. Everything else about the outside has not really seen a lot of wear and tear. This tarp is definitely pretty solid and protects it during the winter. As you can see right here, the sun has definitely changed the color a pretty good amount from what it used to be. So that is one of the slight downsides to it. But overall, this chimney's also gotten really, really black. But ultimately, this looks like it's in very good shape for being, 6-8 months old, besides just the color change. Now, another thing I want to show you is this kind of like film that has come onto this a little bit. This can be wiped off and I'll show you like once I wipe it off, but this kind of continues to come back a little bit. So that would just be one more thing, is that these windows do get a little bit filmy because you run a fire in it like a billion times and that's what's going to happen. First of all, if you don't know a ton about sweat tents, this is just a tent. It's a really reasonable price point. The first time that I ran it, I just used it for like an hour and I just let everything kind of burn off in case there was any chemicals or anything, but now I never smell anything inside, which is really good, because with other saunas that I have used, I have had like a smell inside of like chemically or something, I don't know. But this one has not had that. But the really cool thing is this is temporary. I am going to be moving this sauna into the backyard eventually, and it's super simple to pick up. I've got cinder blocks kind of like holding it down and a couple spikes, but I could pick this up and move it in about 5 minutes if I wanted to. You would just disattach the stove that is inside and just kind of pull that out, and you can move the rest of this really easy. I've actually rotated this. It was very easy to do. It's also foldable, so if you want to bring it with you, very easy to fold. Just an example right here, you kind of just push this in, and like you could do that with all the walls and it would fold in, and then you can just pop it right back up, and it's very, very sturdy. All right, let's come inside here. As we come to the inside here, there is a few things I want to mention. First of all, I do want to mention this bench right here, which has been really, really solid. I know that you're going to need to sit on something anyways. So if you are going to get the sweat tent, I would highly recommend just getting the bench along with it. It's definitely been worth it. It's held up really good, and it still looks like it's in pretty good condition, and I haven't really cleaned it much. I also just keep my wood underneath there. All right, so now we get to what I think is most interesting, which is the stove. So first off, it does come with these rocks right here that you just pour water over. Those have been great. The stove has gotten a little bit, whatever that is. And if you look at the front here, there is like a bit of rust. But on a positive note to that, I have not cleaned this at all, so I don't know if I had cleaned it, if it would be in better shape than it is now. One thing I do really like about this, you can tell this was really made by somebody who cares about it. Even the small details, like the doors have these Velcro things so you can keep the doors open. They have this window so you can get some more airflow in if you need to. They've got a whole side that you can look out of so you can enjoy nature while you're in here. It seems like everything about this was built by someone who actually cares and knows what they're doing and experiences it themselves, because you just notice those little details as you're as you're doing your thing. I will say that ultimately I have recommended this to friends and family, and I think it is by far the best budget sauna that is out there. Not that it's like extremely budget. I think it comes in at around $1,500, but compared to some of the barrel saunas, which are thousands of dollars, I think this is definitely a way better option personally. If you guys are thinking about buying this, I do have an affiliate code down below with a discount. If you're gonna get it, it really does help support the channel. But overall, I could see this lasting quite a few more years. Besides the color change, there's been very little wear and tear on this thing. And this thing in about 20 minutes will easily get up to like 170-ish. I've tried getting it hotter to like 200, which I have hit 200 before, but honestly, it's terrible when it's 200. Like my legs are burning, things are really, really hot. So I keep it at like the 170, 175 type range. And it feels absolutely great. Like if you're thinking about getting a sauna and you don't have one yet, like the shoulder tension just instantly goes away. It's one of the only things I can do that helps my shoulder tension go away. So that's why I do it so often. It's because like I've done cold plunging, I've done other types of saunas, I've done a bunch of things and nothing makes me feel better, literally nothing. Then coming in here when it's 170 degrees, staying in for 5 to 10 minutes, go outside for a minute or two, come back in for another 5 to 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm completely done. Sometimes 15 minutes, I'm completely done, and my entire body, all the stress just goes out of it. And so I don't know about all the health benefits. Obviously there's a bunch and there's scientific stuff and whatever you go in, like risk of heart attack goes down or whatever it is. But besides all that type of stuff, you can use this to get to those temperatures that you need to reduce the stress. It's way more affordable than those more expensive ones. It's portable. The customer service for me has been great. Honestly, I can't recommend this enough. Like I said, I've recommended it to so many people already. And they do also have a bigger version. So this one's supposed to sit, you know, 3 people is generally how many I can fit on the bench. You could fit a couple more if you wanted to, but they also have an XL version, which I'd love to try out and review as well. But I know a friend who has that one, and you can fit, you know, 15 people in that one. So if you need more space, you can kind of upgrade to that one. It's not terribly more for the size. And it's just so simple that it's just a wood stove. And there's also something kind of relaxing about lighting a stove and just having that, you know, that beauty and simplicity in lighting something, starting a fire, and then going in and reaping the rewards of building that. So those are just my thoughts on this. So after 6 months, I honestly, besides the color change, couldn't be more happy with this. I didn't have it properly staked down, and like the wind took it and blew it over, and so it caught on the corner of the fireplace, and that's why there's that little burn there. But if I had secured it properly, that would not have happened. So if you are thinking of getting one, like I said, there's a link down below. Hope you enjoyed this, got some value out of it. And if you have any questions that I didn't cover here, I'm happy to do another video, or let me know down in the comments.